Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Welcome to Crazy Times News. So, how is everyone? Let's look at the flame of life and see. We all know what the flame does. It burns things, it lights things. It's also an interesting flame. Fire is interesting to look at when it's contained, that is. Now, let's just put a nice scent in the air. So, we can wonder and speculate about where our crazy world is going to. What is this crazy world? Crazy times, crazy times. Looks like all sanity is going out the window. If there was ever a thing called sanity, you could even ask yourself. Well, it's all open to discussion, interpretation, feelings. Do you feel crazier now than you did last year? Or do you feel that your neighbors are crazier? Do you think that something's going on? Well, or you feel nothing. Or you feel like, it's not my business, so what? All those things are true in a way. It's not your business, but they can make it your business in no time. That's another thing. Even though we live in an era of mass communication, so they say, mass communication, nobody ever really says that, oh, it's not my business. But, in a flash, they can make it your business, right? So we're all connected by cell phones and by heart and impulses, cellular level. We're all connected. So if it happens to one of us, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, it can happen to any of us. That's a thing we should realize. So let's talk about crazy times. Well, first things first. How many of you know that Congress, the Fed, the government, is contemplating bringing back the draft? Now, if you remember about 3 months ago, I said the draft will be reinstated. I have it, it's on tape. Reinstated, this was 3 months ago. I said in 6 months. Okay, that was 3 months ago. March, April, May. Almost 3 months ago. Oh, good enough. Just give it 3 months ago. Now, let's see. The next 3 months will be June, July, August. We'll see if that prediction comes true. But we still know that draft is in the scope. It's in the range. So how does everybody feel about getting drafted? And I don't think it's going to be just the gents. The gals, trans or whatever, bio, trans, whatever, gals, you're going to. They're going to. They're going to have everybody. That's the whole purpose of so-called equality. Of course, that's kind of like bastardized, that word. However, right now there are 12 countries in UA, European Union, who are pushing. No, not pushing. They have the draft. They brought back the draft. And one of them, Norway, has the gals, the girls, the femmes, the females. They're up there too. At least a year. They want you at least a year. Now, it's funny how when war breaks out, that year it gets extended. It gets extended. 1 year, 2 years. Zelensky's been actively fighting Russia. For millenniums, of course. But anyway, since he's gotten help of equipment for over a year, maybe, a couple years. Check it. But the point is, first they had the draft from 27 to 26, something like that. No, 18 to... Actually, you'll have to check on that. Actually, I forgot right now. My mind's gone blank because right now they're taking 18 to 60. I'm so flabbergasted that they're taking all males from 18 to 60 is draftable. Front lines, hamburger meat. You got that? To make sure Zelensky doesn't get caught. Ukraine. One of United States and NATO countries' main money pits. Money pits. The snake pit of money is in Ukraine. One of them. So, and they're telling that all Ukrainians, no matter where you ran off to, an island in Tahiti, uh, to Iceland, Uruguay, come back because you're needed on the front line to protect the homeland. Now, common sense would tell the government if you ran that far away, you weren't thinking of coming back. Forget it. That's what's called immigration or migration. Or what did they call it? Expats. Expats, yes, expat. You expat. You X yourself out. And when there's nothing to come back to, why are you going to come back to bang, 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 you're dead? For your former comedian, now dictator, who I think last week he was relieved of his term. However, he is a dictator and he says, no way, I'm not leaving. So the beat goes on. The beat goes on. So, the most important thing is the fact that UK now is going to have a vote, which means they're going to pass draft in UK. And how do you like this? I think it's male and female too. You're not going to let the females, just get off. No, they're going to make everybody. So you had you graduated like school, secondary and elementary and whatever. Let's say, and then the first thing you got to do is after COVID, you went around with a mask, you got the vaccine, lockdown. Now you're supposed to have to go to the military and die for the country that gave you such great deals. Of course, there's no work. Food prices are high. Gas is high for your car, or electricity is high for your home. So you're freezing, can't go anywhere, but you could go to the military and they will take care of you as long as you agree to go to the front line. And they're saying your duties will be determined by your abilities. We know what that is. That means if you have cushy, well-connected sources, you will have a cushy, well-protected employment in your military service. Otherwise, ship. Move along. So, anyway, you got that? UK is going to have a vote for conscription, compulsory military service. United States is toying, diddling with the same thing. So that's the whole purpose of the equality. So you all feel together. And of course, we all know that the Trump trial is going closing arguments this week, Tuesday. And that usually takes a couple of hours. So you can safely say by the afternoon, most likely, if it starts at like 9 o'clock, the trial, or the closing arguments. Closing arguments sometimes start a little later. That they will start deliberating, and of course they'll have the pizza shipped in, or the fried chicken and KFC shipped in, so they won't have to be bombarded with the photographers that will stay outside the courthouse and camp out so they can get the first word. Now, it's kind of strange because it seems like the first word is going to go to Joe Biden, and he's going to make an announcement from the White House. Justice is served. Served on what? Paper plates, takeout, styrofoam, what? Newspaper? Okay. So, now that's pretty kinky right there. It's right for telling. The fact that the White House is going to get involved in addressing the nation about sex with a hoe. Okay? Sex with a hoe. This is all what it's about. Now, I was just thinking, since we're having military equality in the draft, defending your country as I say. I like to say, even though you will have no job, you or your food you can't afford to eat, you live in a cardboard box or a basement apartment, okay, you should be grateful because maybe you don't have that cardboard box or you don't have that basement apartment. What else are you going to do? You don't have a job, you don't have any skills because they tell you college education is, Zippo. You don't need it. Why go in debt? Even though they should pay everybody to go to school for free because it's hell. College is hell. The drinking, the this, the that. I mean, that's just like BS. 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 Of course, there's always abusers. There's always this and that. There's always this and that. And to concentrate on the fringe of this and that is just propaganda. School isn't fun. You can have me say, oh, I had my best days. Okay. Believe it. All right. Now, if I'm going to have this question. Now, we're talking about equality in the draft. How come? Now, let's say we had a female president and she was married 3 times. She had a good-looking husband and a beautiful family and lots of dough. And all of a sudden, she was found out that she's, likes a few whores once in a while, like a few guys. She likes a few escorts. And let's say she was like, she banged this, or she had sex with this male hooker. And can you imagine the trial going as a woman? Now, this is really equality. For a man, they'll give you sex. And, oh, he's still great. He's still this, he's still that. But if it was just reverse the sex of the president and his hooker. Now, you would say things would really be bad then if you had a woman president who had a desire and a need for male hookers. You see what I mean? Even though you're fit to go to the army and the military, there's still that defining, no, we don't go there. However, and what if the hooker, Stormy Daniels, was male, biological male? Where would that go? Right? Where would that go? I think that would be done very private. And of course, there's a lot of discrepancies in the trial. It's making a mockery. It's a kangaroo. It is. Just think about the reverse sexual sex of the participants and where it would go, especially in terms of diversity and equality. What's the last one? I forgot. Point is, we're getting a lot of reverse propaganda to make us feel whatever the way the wind blows. So if it's blowing towards a pig farm, you're going to smell pig. If it's blowing towards a rose garden, you'll smell roses. You got it, right? You got it. Now, so we can look forward to like some tempestuous tomorrows. And also, too, I was even thinking about the way Trump had a rally in the Bronx. Now, even though most people think of the Bronx as being like danger zone, it is actually a good-sized portion of it is devoted to the super wealthy. So you have side by side. You have not haves, and I have too much, side by side. So, I mean, and then, too, going on the popular billing of the Bronx being danger zone, bang, 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 bang. That also kind of was psychologically put there. Let's just say if Trump's verdict goes south, who would be agitated as well, right? Who else besides his supporters would be agitated? His new supporters, perhaps. You get it. Think about it. All right? Now, so they recently found, this is my piece of paper here, to make sure that I do put all the news in. They recently found that a 5,000 year-old map of the USA. And it was found in Egypt. So now they're like, all like, oh my goodness, we have all these. And of course, it's been known for decades that Egyptian artifacts exist in North America. But it's just like, shh, shh, shh. And it seems like it's, they can't keep it quiet. They can't keep it quiet too much longer. And they're saying this, I mean, the supposed idea of where we got to from the past to here is a supposed idea. Not all the truths are spoken of, and the rest, and the ones that are not, are just put into the CT, that CT label that is currently always used when they don't want to explain something. Or it's like, don't think about that. Don't go there. Just say, 26 words, and yes and no being the top 10. Got it? 1 + 1 = 15. That's how it goes. So, anyway, it's been 5,000 years ago. And the thing is, too, if you understand Egypt, or that period of lifestyle there, it wasn't only in Egypt, it was elsewhere as well. Elsewhere. There are countries and areas that they can't afford to talk about their findings because they don't have the cash. Archaeology is a very strange business. There's a lot of strange people involved in it. And obviously, you can imagine the swag archaeologists run around with when they get funding to do something. They have to have funding to pay for the guides, the excavation, food, blah, blah, blah. So you can just use your imagination. Everything has a price tag and a person to answer to. However, I was thinking when they were like digging up the artifacts that you always see, look at these people. How can they get this level of manufacturing together? How the civilization and etc. They always pick up pottery, and you see decorative pottery, and they're looking for like meetings from the pottery and da da da. However, what are we going to be discovered with after World War III? Plastic bottles? Plastic? So they had pottery and we have plastic. So keep in mind, who is more advanced? What are we leaving behind? Lots of junk, lots of plastic. Wow, plastic. And it's also, too, very ironic that the past civilizations, their technology and their art were like, that's all we have. We have their art. What are we leaving behind telling people that you have a useless occupation if you're an artist, if you're a culturally necessary? And it's just like useless. Oh, yeah, useless, because we're going to have lots of plastic bottles to level off to and make us look really, really advanced. So, and you also think about, they always go like, Iran has weapons, nuclear weapons. And as I've mentioned before, most of the people 20 years ago in physics class, the scientists, were all Iranians. I mean, there was very few white Americans, no black Americans. And there were like East Asians, East and West Asia, South Asians and East Asians, actually, and some people from the Middle East. Those are the people that have been like filling our U.S. physics class, mainly. All right, mainly. So, and another thing too, and they always say, like, how can Egypt, which is so far away from North America, how could they get there? Well, you know something? People in that area, they made their ships, because they didn't have they made their ships out of wood, and they were strong and sturdy and big. Even how they connected the wood pieces together, their craftsmanship is so fabulous, and I mean really fabulous, that they still did it all with wood. It interlocked together. So we shouldn't discount any information. We should just try to find out who we are. Who are we? Who are we? And of course, we're still bitching about something that happened 45,000 years ago. No, 4,500 years ago. We still don't know with this 5 billion year old Earth the reality. And we keep on keeping it hidden. And we keep on like closing, and not telling anybody anything. Anything. And another thing too, they always go at, you get a crazy news. I mean, there's so much in the past. And then you see, what do you have today? What do you have today? What do you have? Did you know that President Biden, did you know that he graduated in his class, college class? I think it was law school. There were 85 people in this class. And our president, Joe Biden, he graduated 76 out of 85. And that's who's leading our country to World War III. All right? That is who we have in the U.S. Besides his cognitive issues right now, what did he start out with? Okay, I can imagine he was partying, didn't have time for studies, perhaps. But the fact that he's supporting war zones in the Middle East and in the Baltics, right? In the Gaza and in Ukraine, as well as in Niger, elsewhere, Africa. So I'm saying that he's given so much untold monies, all the money for our bridges, roads, everything to Ukraine in a losing war against Russia. Now, but Ukraine has been able to get a few, with U.S. and Ukraine and UK supplied weapons, a few good hits, right? And don't you think Russia is pissed? And what I mean, all right, so we had the bridge in Baltimore KO'd. We've been having our food and fuel and train derailments. Our factories blown up. And it's all accidents or coincidences. Now let's just see. Let's throw a political thing. And let's see how long is Russia gonna just suck it up? Suck up the abuse, suck up all the killing of its civilians, the internal. Okay, so we do know that, Russia and Ukraine have been duking it out hundreds of years. And it's upped itself in the last couple of years with NATO supplied stuff. Now I'm asking straight up, how long do you think, let's ask the tarot, the spirits, that Russia's just going to suck it up? I mean, tit for tat, do unto others, the golden rule. And Russians are pretty conservative and they're very Christian-minded people. Do unto others. I don't think they're going to keep turning the other cheek. I don't know. I'm not so good at my cliches. However, let's just take 3 cards here, 3-card reading, and let's see just how before Russia starts sending its drones flying publicly and saying, I did it, not just sneaking around the bush and doing things. Or maybe, let's just see. 1, we take 3 random cards and let's try to get a hint about how long Russia is just going to be content with being quiet, being the gentleman, being the higher self. All right, 3 random cards. All right, let's see now. How long is Russia Just going to continue to suck this up. Well, we have the 9 of Cups, meaning they're ready to strike at any minute, sitting pretty, locked and loaded. I would say that they're locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. And my pussycat agrees. She says those Russians are locked and loaded. The second thing we have here is the Emperor. No beating around. No beating around. Pissed, 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 pissed. You can smell this. Smell the anger. Smell it. I can. Sure, you can too. Let's see. How does Russia turning the other cheek? Well, it can still take a little bit more. We've got the Page of Cups. They're toying around with when to do, what to do. Maybe they're going to start low level. Maybe they have been already doing low level. Or maybe they're going to seriously ponder a strike. More strikes. And of course, hitting civilians. I mean, that's what war is all about. It's hitting civilians, right? It's not hitting one per se embassy after another. No. Well, I mean, the Israelis did it to in Syria. However, but look at this. Now, I would say the Russians are locked and loaded and ready to start striking. But small time. They're not going to bomb out New York City. No. Besides, there are many ways to get attention as it's been happening. Helicopter wrecks, cities flooded, that, that's weird. And what else is there? More floods, fires. Now, of course, the ICC has International Criminal Court, still has a warrant out for Bibi Netanyahu and Hamas and other officials, and Hamas and their leadership. But that doesn't stop Speaker Johnson from inviting Bibi to come and Benjamin to come and chat, fireside chat for the people, for us. We give Israel our undenying support, and we will send our young men and women to fight for your cause, because death is all around us and there's no life. There's no life for anyone on this planet if World War III erupts. And war is peace, and it's not exactly, peace talks don't seem to be required. We should have peace talks. We have to demand peace talks. So I go yay to the college people, because your lives are at stake. Your lives are at stake. Your lives. Hello, wife. Your lives are at stake. Your men and women, your lives are going to be disrupted again. Your lives are going to be disrupted again with, first you had lockdown, you had COVID, and now you're going to have war. So damn right you should be like agitated. You think there's old people sitting with like they own their own homes and they're living on pensions from your jobs that you don't have? Do you think they're going to be like saying anything? No, they'll call you names. You've been called names already. So you go, so what? My name is Jeffrey, but so what? Call me whatever you want to call me. Call me lazy. Call me a basement dweller. Call me, whatever you want to call me. I know that I do not believe in a World War III. That's the whole thing. Do they dare say that? No, because it's scary. Ooh, it's not a safe thing to say. Perhaps that could be it. Perhaps. Anyway, so, so that is what else is crazy around here. So we're giving weapons again, as usual, more and more weapons. There's no because Joe Biden, who graduated 76 out of a class of 85, says no, or his handlers say no. They want war. And Pope Francis surprised us all recently. He used the word, I'm going to quote him, fuckery. Now, I didn't think that's a very Christian Catholic word to use, fuckery. And in terms of like, he doesn't want gay men to be on his seminars. Well, if you're gay and respectable, well, I mean, why shouldn't you join the church? I mean, there's all guys in there anyway, because I mean, isn't their whole place full of guys? No children, no women, just guys. However, he said that, so maybe he had a moment of slipping, not reading from the program, not reading from the script. I don't know. But he used that word. He says, oh no, more gay people. Gay men, not gay people. Men. And so we still haven't heard too much more about, P. Diddy and his shenanigans. P. Diddy, the music icon. Of course, we know that P. Diddy was very responsible for like introducing Obama back when. Obama, so did Jay-Z, and so did Russell Simmons. They're all like, heavy duty Epstein, Weinstein type of people. We'll let that lie, but you can get that's crazy. Birds of a feather flock together. That's one old adage I remember. All right, now let's see. We covered equality in terms of the army and in terms of if this Trump trial, if the sexes were reversed. And we just know that things are crazy. Food prices have gone up and up and up and up and up. They're lucky to eat a sandwich, or maybe all you could eat is a sandwich. Anyway, so we see that Russia is toying around through our read with revenge. Revenge. So how are you going to make it out with the draft? Tell me, how are you going to be in the army? In the Navy? How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with that? That's pretty interesting. It's pretty sad too. It's pretty sad. And it's they did a survey too. It's very strange about all the politicians seem to be very gung ho for Ukraine, all the NATO things, but the European people themselves, the masses, don't really like. They're not into it. They're not into it. They could go. We got problems over here. Recently, another thing too is kind of strange. They had a German politician. Here's some video circulating. They have him licking with his tongue the toilets, the plungers, the toilet brushes, licking the whole public toilet of the men's room. And he filmed himself doing it because he had to do that. Now, what kind of club is he into? Is he in the same club that Lord Cameron was in when he was in college that required him to have sex with a pig's head? Lord Cameron, when he was a young adult, he had to have sex with a pig head because that was part of the initiation. Now, this is the kind of people, you have the politician, German politician, putting his tongue all over the latrine and sucking on the brushes, sucking on the plungers, sucking on the piss of other people. But that's because he had to do it. And there are a couple more tapes out there that they could know. I don't know. They spared us. Now, we know one thing about, too, that all this Diddy and stuff like this is just a distraction to keep us oblivious. Same thing with the Trump trial. Keep us oblivious when that draft comes. Now, we've been highly advanced for like a 50 years plus without having the draft. Maybe your grandparents know that, like, what it was like to have the Vietnam draft. How many people died? They did nothing. And today we have good relations with Vietnam. So, I mean, it's almost like, why did they die? Why did they die? You know? Why did they die? Did they die so we could, like, have, like, high prices? Home ownership at all-time Zippo? 25-word vocabulary we can use publicly? Why did they die? Why did they die? We'll never know. Will we know? Why did they die? Because it just suit a secret agenda? Is war a secret agenda? That's another question. What is war? What is war? What is war? Ideology fights? Let's do a little quick take on what is war. I have no idea what war is. Disagreements that you just can't speak to each other anymore. You have like S&Ms, sadomasochistic, masochistic sadistic urges. You have to release, or it could be you're keeping your population so stupid that they're just feeling really disgustingly tight and angry, and they'll lash at anything. What is war? War. What is war? We are right. What the hell is war? War is hell. Let's see. What is war? A celebration. The Three of Cups. Judgment. All right. Judgment. That's war. Judgment. What else is war? Victory at any cost. Being able to fill the needs of the masses. Fill the needs that can't be met. Let me see this celebration of what? What kind of celebration is war? Spirits, tell me, what kind of celebration is war? Higher energy. Let's go there. What is war? War. War. What is war? One. What is war? All right. Let's see. What is war? Okay. Ego. Ego-driven domination. I am right. I am right. I guess. And it's something to do. We have the Three of Wands. On the lookout to celebrate. It's just basically, we are right. The ego is out of control. We are the most advanced. We are the number one. Excuse me, aren't we on one planet? We pollute in one place. Fukushima, did we learn anything from Fukushima? It happened over in one side of the world, and the whole world was affected with chemicals. Chernobyl, the same thing. 3 Mile Island, the same thing. Don't we understand? We shit in somebody's yard. The stench travels. White phosphorus is white phosphorus. It carries with the wind. It carries with the elements. Something else is going on here, people. Something else big time is going on. Something else. It's not just, Mary Beth against Natasha. No. It's something else going on. Francois against Ivan. No. It's going on. Something bigger. And that's the secret lies in our past. I mean our distant past, which is probably not our distant past at all. It's just our reality. Something is being hid from us. We're not all the same. I mean, yeah, we know there's some people have talent and, this and that. Some people have investigative talent. Some people have farming talent. Some people have musical talent. I don't mean that kind of talent. or equality. I don't mean that. I mean, some of us, are we all humans? Are we all on the same? I mean, okay, some of us are psychopaths. True, 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 true. And some of us are, but something else. So we have business. There's something else going on here. Black away, run away, run away, run away. But like just like the draft is coming up in a few months, as I said, it would. You can't. You can turn off, but you know what? You can't stay turned off. Even your phone, you got to carry your smartphone with you. You know how powerful that little smartphone is? It tracks everything you do. So let's say there's a draft and you decide, I'm not going. Well, your smartphone is going to go beep, beep, beep. This is where you are. And then here comes that Jeep with those people and like hopped into the paddy wagon you go out to the front lines. That's essentially what's happening. So if you don't, so you have got to get something else. Wife 222B, you've got to get some, you got to get our, we have to get our stuff together. We have to get ourselves together. And we have, because something kinky, and I mean, war is pretty damn kinky. You want to see everything blown up. You want to see no food. You want to see violence. You want to be like the original Jamestown, USA, when they came over here to the indigenous lands. Like people were going to say, here, eat my food. Grow it yourself. Grow it yourself. You know, you have to really think about the UN. You have to think about global bodies. And you have to read history, not history. I mean, read the past. And not just from one source. Make your own. It's just like the reason ancient civilizations made things sturdy, made things beautiful, was to teach us a lesson today. If we dug up something and it was just garbage, plastic, plastic, plastic garbage, would we have any interest in that civilization that just diddled itself and drank out of plastic? No. But when we have a civilization that had beautiful buildings, artwork, pottery, beautiful things. Why did these low-class people have such beautiful things? These primitive people that should have just gone around, ugh, 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 ugh. However, they did not. They did not. They did not just have ugly things, throwaway things. No, if they were going to have a fly swatter or a mouse killer, they had style with it, because style means you paid attention to it and you also query the interest of the other people that come after you. Or maybe we're the last peoples. We're not supposed to have an interest. We're not supposed to be interesting. We're supposed to be effing boring. And where are you going to go with your boredom? Where are we going with our boredom? Anyway, that's enough of the news, the crazy times. Draft is coming. Trump verdict is coming. And are we having peaceful days and nights? I don't think so. And of course, when the ugly buildings topple over, the skyscrapers, and they find out that, the corpses, they have like plastic bottles, plastic wallets, and nothing really of value to share. What? Computers, little tiny cell phones. What do we have? We don't even carry like books. Plastic baggies, lunch, styrofoam. We have no pottery. We have no this. And what do we live in? Little tiny cubicles, like mice, laboratory mice, mazes, ugly mazes. No. Where is the beauty? Where? Do you have, what kind of beauty do you have in your life in these crazy times? Well, anyway, forget about all that. We are in for a showtime, and let's bear with it until the next crazy times. And if you think it's something that's equally crazy that I'm missing, let me know. Anyway, draft is on the horizon, and they're going to try to incite the people to like be as much crazy as possible, because then they can use force to make you more crazy. So remember, people, laugh, because there's a solution for every single drag thing. All right? I'm going to step away for a moment. And if anybody would like to have a reading, let me know. So I will be back. Clunk, clunk. Be back.